What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Leafs 4-1 victory over the San Jose Sharks. That improves the Leafs record to 6-4-2, while the Sharks drop to 4-6-1. Again, I put this in the preview video this morning. The Leafs and Sharks are in similar positions, and they were going into this game. Both teams with high, octane offense. Sharks have the better blue line for sure. But the Leafs have the edge in goal, if you ask me, because, Jones hasn't really been playing up to par, but, Anderson hasn't exactly either, but it seems like Anderson's been much more consistent in his career. But I said in the preview that this was big for the Leafs. They needed this victory, and the Sharks needed it just as much. Two teams trying to prove something, but the Leafs ultimately got the victory. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, and if you watched this game, you would know that there was a lot of parts in this game where it was really slow. That first period, the Leafs had some scoring chances right off the bat. Matthews had a couple good chances. Nylander got in there and got some good shots. I think even like Muzzin and Riley, everybody seemed to at least be getting some chances. And I think the Moore, Mikheyev, and Kerfoot, those guys definitely got some opportunities. It seemed like everybody was in it. But then it kind of dropped off a little bit. Both teams ended the period with under 10 shots each, and then the Leafs went into the next period without a shot for like the first 5 minutes, so it was really slow at parts of this game, but the Leafs picked it up when they needed to and exploded in the third period. Now, if we're looking at numbers for throughout this game, the Leafs led in the shot category 27-17. Again, I do not agree with the fact that Freddie Anderson should have been starting this game. This should have been a Hutchinson game and then have Freddie play against the Habs. But now you're feeding Hutchinson to a much better team so far this year in the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I believe the Sharks even played last night. I could be I know they played last night. So again, on a second half of a back-to-back for the Sharks, a team that's tired, not playing well to start the year, against Martin Jones, who hasn't really been that good to start the year either. You should have played Hutchinson. It didn't make a lot of sense, but Freddie got the job for the Leafs with only facing 17 shots with 16 against, and of course, like I said, Martin Jones was in goal for them. Face-off percentage, the Leafs won that 51% to 49. The Leafs were 0 for 5 on the power play. That's got to be a difference. Like, the Leafs hired McFarland to improve that power play. And, there's been times where he has, and of course with Tavares being out, he's a huge part of their power play as well. But they substituted Nylander in there, who's actually been playing quite well. I believe he has 8 points in 12 games to start the year. I could be incorrect. I believe he has 3 goals and 5 assists, so I think that's right around where that should be correct. I could be wrong, but he was filling that spot out in front of the net so far, and he's been doing a fine job. Everybody has been, fine. Like the players are good enough to be there, but they're not finding ways to get into the zone and get set up properly. And when they are, they're not getting a ton of shots. In terms of penalty minutes, of course, the Sharks being only 0 for 1 on the power play, they had way more penalties, 10 minutes to 2. They out-hit the Leafs 19-12, not too big of a difference. It wasn't an overly physical game. The Sharks had 16 block shots, where the Leafs had 11. And giveaways, the Leafs had 15 and the Sharks had 15. So there was quite a lot of giveaways tonight, which wasn't really good. But the scoring got started with Kevin Labanc scoring his 4th of the season, assisted by Burns and Hurdle. Again, the Leafs falling behind early on in the first period, about halfway through, but still they're giving up the first goal of the game again. Jake Muzzin in the second period got one, like literally the second was about to end, and that was a pretty terrible period for both sides. It wasn't really that fun to watch. That was Muzzin's 2nd of the year, assisted by Spezza and Mikheyev. Good for Spezza for picking up his 2nd assist, and Mikheyev has just been dynamite to start the year, and we'll get back to him soon. In the third period, Morgan Riley scored his 3rd of the season, an absolutely beautiful pass by Nylander. A lot of people weren't discussing this, and I believe Rahef, I don't want to mispronounce her name, she has one of the best Leaf Twitters out there. She even tweeted about it saying, how is everybody not talking about this Nylander pass? It's true. It was an absolutely beautiful pass right to Morgan Riley, and he ripped it home. So that was a really nice play for them. And also shout out to Justin Bieber, who was at the game. He was celebrating quite hard. You can tell he's a real Leaf fan, and that's not being sarcastic. Mikheyev also had a goal. It was an empty netter, his 4th of the season, assisted by Marner. Right before that, Kapanen missed a wide open net. The puck was rolling a little bit. Moore was being unselfish and passed it over to him, and he just couldn't get a good handle on it. It was bouncing, so you can't really blame him. But then Matthews, right away, right after that, scored his 9th of the season, assisted by Marner as well. Marner has 11 assists on the season now, and Matthews scored. That was absolutely nice, ripped it 5-hole, and that's how the game went. 4-1 for your Toronto Maple Leafs, a really solid game for them. They have to move on now to a much better team so far this year in the Montreal Canadiens. And salute to Patrick Marleau. He got a little bit of a standing O. I believe tonight was, what, his 1500th or 1600th game in the NHL. I can't remember. I think it was 1500th. Or at least it was around that many games. I can't remember, but you know, salute to him. We love Patrick Marleau. He's a great guy, and he always gives a good interview. If you guys seen what he said this morning, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers, and there will be a There'll be a preview for tomorrow morning's game in the morning, so make sure to check it out. It's usually out at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens. I'll see you guys then. Peace.